Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. Now today, we're going to be talking about an ongoing severe weather outbreak that's bringing damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes to a certain portion of the United States. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, where we have an enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of the Midwest. Tornado threat for today. If you're in that brown area, you have a 5% chance to see a tornado in your town, alright? That includes areas like Peoria, Illinois, back out towards areas like Kansas City. So make sure you have a tornado action plan in place. Damaging wind threat for today. If you're in that red area, then you have a 30% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher in your town, and at least a 10% chance to see wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or higher in your town, which again goes from Peoria back down towards Kansas City. Hail threat for today. If you're in that red area, you have a 30% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger in your town, and at least a 10% chance to see hail of 2 inches or larger in your town, which is large destructive hail. And once again, this goes from areas like Peoria back down to Kansas City. So that's kind of our main area where we're going to have that chance for severe weather today. Now, moving on to tomorrow here, we have two slight risks of severe weather, one of them being centered around the plains, and the other being centered around portions of New England. Tornado threat for tomorrow. If you're in that green area, you have a 2% chance to see a tornado in your town. That goes from areas like Colby, Kansas, back out towards Cheyenne, Wyoming. Damaging wind threat for tomorrow. If you're in that yellow area, you have a 15% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher in your town, and at least a 10% chance to see wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or higher in your town if you're in that black circle there, so look out for that. Hail threat for tomorrow. If you're in that yellow area, you have a 15% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger in your town, so make sure to look out for that. Make sure you are protecting your vehicles. Now, moving on to Saturday here, we have two marginal risks of severe weather, one of them being centered around the plains and the other being up in North Dakota, but it's too early to break down the threats that brings. But as we look here later into next week, right on Monday, we have a day 5 slight risk of severe weather once again for parts of Minnesota, Iowa, and the Dakotas. Now, last time we had this, which the day ended up being yesterday, we ended up getting a big-time tornado outbreak up in this area, okay? So we have to watch out for this area here once again, from Grand Forks back down to Sioux Falls. Whenever we get into summer, this is kind of the pattern that we're talking about here. The upper Midwest just getting hit over and over again by these severe storms. Now, moving on to what the models are showing here for the next few days, we can see right now we got some activity out in Michigan. We got a few severe thunderstorm warnings up there while I record this. We've also still got heavy rainfall battering southern Florida. Now, as we go into 7 p.m. this evening, we see our line of storms develop here across the Midwest, going all the way from Kansas back into Iowa here. It's going to be pretty strong, again, producing the threat of some damaging winds, large hail, maybe an isolated tornado before this line of storms really gets going. Then around 10 p.m., a lot of the activity that we see actually moves into portions of northern Illinois here, and it's going to continue to head southeast, and overall we may still have the chance around midnight to see a few severe thunderstorms across portions of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana here. Now, as we go into tomorrow about 7 a.m., we can already see some storms starting to fire off in western Kansas, and by 10 a.m., those are kind of down to just some showers, but as we go into about 4 p.m. tomorrow, we can see our line of storms in the northeast develop that, again, is going to produce a damaging wind and large hail threat, and then we can also see our storms out here in the western United States develop, where, again, we're going to see some damaging winds and large hail, and if any of these cells become discrete enough before the line develops, we could have an isolated tornado threat across portions of Nebraska and Colorado, so make sure to look out for that. 9 p.m. tomorrow, we see more of those cells in the plains start to move into portions of western Kansas and western Nebraska, and our line of storms in the northeast is still going to be producing some heavy rainfall, some lightning around the New Jersey area. Now, as we go into Saturday here, right around 7 a.m., we can still see that leftover line of storms here impacting portions of northeast Kansas and southeastern Nebraska, but it's nothing really too crazy. However, we can start to see some cells fire off here late Saturday, around 7 p.m. These could have an isolated tornado threat with them. Anywhere from South Dakota to the Texas Panhandle, I would not rule out an isolated tornado, so we'll have to look out for that, because these cells are going to be discrete and they're going to be pretty strong. Now, finally, watches, warnings, and advisories. As I said, we got some severe thunderstorm warnings in the Michigan UP right now. Those are your orange boxes up there. Green boxes down in South Florida, those are your flood watches as extreme flash flooding continues. But other than that, pretty calm right now. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please do be sure to like and subscribe. I will be live today, so make sure to tune in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.